Hi there, my name's Harry Ye, Managing Director at Binary FinTech Groups. I've been one of the fortunate few to travel around the world and have been involved in cryptocurrency since 2013. Specifically, I got into Bitcoin back in 2013. I think I got my first Bitcoin when it was around $60, and today it's trading at around $31,000 with the high of about $35,000. So I've been very, very fortunate to see the rise of this alternative asset class. We are at the beginning of the third big market bull cycle that I've been involved with. I'm considered a relatively early adopter in Bitcoin. I brought Bitcoin to the Middle East in Dubai back in 2016. So I think when I brought Bitcoin and I started talking about it here in Dubai in 2016, the price was around $600, and now, the last post I did was around $34,000. If I was to look at the current state of where we are in 2021, the bull market is just starting. So let's step back and take a look at the three bull runs that I've been involved with. I got into Bitcoin in 2013, and when I first got into Bitcoin, it was around $60. At $60, I was telling everybody I think it would be $500 by the end of the year. I was completely off. It went to $1,300. So a 20x return at the end of 2013 was what happened with Bitcoin. And end of 2016, when Trump got elected, Bitcoin was around $1,500. And we're saying, okay, it might do another 10x, so it might be $10,000. It outperformed it, did a 20x again, and ended up at around $19,500. So this year, if Bitcoin follows the same trajectory, since we're at the beginning of 2017, in 2021, I believe Bitcoin, originally I was going to say it's $100,000, but I think it could be between $400,000 to $600,000 if you're just doing simple math. And I know that sounds crazy. People still think we're crazy, and I'm crazy for talking about this, but people just underestimate the power of the network effect and the power of exponential, because as humans, we only think in terms of linear growth. We can't think of exponential growth. They can't fathom that something can go up so quick. Bitcoin is now kind of the gold standard for which everything in cryptocurrency kind of looks towards. But Bitcoin doesn't have its faults either. It's become more of a digital store of value, but it's not very, very good for if you need a lot of transactions on the network. It's great for a storage of value, and if you need to move large chunks of money around or value around. But in terms of, can you get that same multiple of a return? I mean, look, Bitcoin did amazing this last year. Since 2016 to today, it's up 60 times. So it's the best performing asset class in the last 10 years. There's no question about it. But it becomes much harder for people to get a big return on Bitcoin. So, the changing landscape now also is Bitcoin's not just part of your portfolio, it's part of my portfolio, but what else can we diversify into in terms of your portfolio? So the top 10 assets, what we've really started telling our clients and even people that are getting new into the space is, if you take 10% of your liquid net worth and you put it into cryptocurrency, take 30%, put it into Bitcoin, 30% into something that can do a relatively large move such as Fantom, or 40% into Fantom, and then 30% into Ethereum, Cardano, Chainlink. So if you were to fast forward now and say, what is the next cutting edge piece of blockchain, just because there's so many out there. So you've got all these other blockchains that are out there, but everybody's trying to do the next thing where it's kind of trying to replace Ethereum, because they say Ethereum's slow and Ethereum 2.0 isn't ready yet. But one of the projects that we believe is cutting edge and is the most undervalued right now is Fantom's blockchain. And look, happy to talk a little bit more about Fantom as well, kind of why we believe it's going to take the same trajectory as Ethereum and potentially could become a top 10 this year. And the main reason behind that is there's nothing out there today that does what Ethereum does. But the problem is Ethereum is still too slow. It only does 15 transactions per second, whereas Fantom does 1,500 transactions per second. So why Fantom and why now? Well, Fantom's delegated proof of stake. And there's news coming out that, Republic Protocol is building a virtual machine bridge between Ethereum's blockchain and Fantom's blockchain. So you can just imagine, because Fantom is 100% ERC20 and smart contract, like Solidity compatible. Whatever you develop on Ethereum, you can port that over to Fantom with relative ease. Think of Ethereum as the 100 megabit network and Fantom as the 10G network. So Fantom's not here to kill Ethereum. Fantom is here to help Ethereum achieve an even greater amount of transaction processing capability. So that's really, really where we start looking at projects. You look at the team, Andre Cronje, he created Wi-Fi and Keeper, and he's one of the core guys that developed Go Lachesis on the blockchain for Fantom. So, Michael Kong, Quan, all of these guys, the marketing team, they're all heads down. They're building some of the best product that we've seen. And I don't think anybody's really, really looked at the entire DeFi product suite of Fantom. So Fantom has its own blockchain called Opera. So Fantom on the Opera, a little bit kind of a catchy name. So we believe, aside from everything that they're doing in DeFi, and look, DeFi is the hot buzzword this year. It is the hot topic. So imagine all the smart contracts such as Wi-Fi, Sushi Swap, all of these things running on Fantom's blockchain seamlessly with Ethereum's blockchain. And people are starting to see this now, which is, we started accumulating our big position in the last 2 years. And I think today, Fantom's trading around 8.4 cents. On the weekend, on Saturday, it was trading at 2 cents. So it's up 3 times. And, this thing, it just broke the top 100, and it is the most undervalued project in the space. There's a 3 billion token cap, and I think the market cap right now is only about 150 or 200 million. So lots of room for growth. And for us, cutting edge and value investing, at least in this space, we look for something that's really, really undervalued, and how can we help unlock that value? And that's disclaimer why we're suggesting that everybody take a look at Fantom. If you're really looking at diversifying your portfolio and adding an altcoin to your portfolio, some of the first things you definitely want to look at is who are the people behind the project, because at the end of the day, it's always about the people. Somebody created Bitcoin, whether, Bitcoin Satoshi Nakamoto wasn't one person or a team. Ethereum, there's a team of people. So you have to look at the team of people that are really, really behind the project, and how vested and how committed are they? So if you look at Fantom, you've got a great group of engineers, advisors, people like us as well that are working not just on the investment side. The community is very, very vibrant. You have a lot of people that are very, very pro Fantom, including myself, but also the technical side. My background is software engineering, and I'm working on enterprise blockchain integrations right now that are using Fantom. So there's real application and utility. So I find any investment, it's important. So when I got into Bitcoin, I bought some Bitcoin, I understood what it was, and I used it. So with Fantom, it's the same thing. You really have to use the DeFi suite to really understand it. Just like the only way you can understand Ethereum is if you send smart contract tokens. So look, USDT, for instance, Tether, USDC, all these stable coins. Stable coins have become a huge part of our lives now, but we have to use Ethereum's blockchain. Imagine if we can send stable coins between each other, but it's kind of, we don't really care if we're using Fantom's network or Ethereum's network, but we know we're getting the best execution price. And that's really, really where we see Fantom augmenting the part of the smart contract piece right now. This is kind of where really kind of sitting down and understanding the product. Look, Fantom is definitely one of my largest positions, so we've done our homework and we love the product and the team. And this is, I think you just have to really, really be a believer. And sometimes the only way to really be a believer and to see the things and look under the rocks is to be involved. So we're very, very close to the Fantom team. We talk to them regularly. We use the product on a daily basis, and we figure out ways to use the product and how to adopt it and how to use it in actual businesses. And I'm happy to say I can't officially announce which blockchain that we've picked. Obviously, it's Fantom, but there's a couple of companies and startups that I'm directly involved with that are using Fantom's blockchain for enterprise. Well, the first thing I would recommend is definitely do your own research. The first thing I tell people is always buy some Bitcoin, buy some Ethereum, so you understand what the big pairs are. And be prepared for the volatility. Don't be afraid to stomach drops, because the volatility, only with great volatility can there be great upside. So look, when we invested in Fantom, I think I got in at around 2 cents and it dropped all the way to 0.0019 cent in March of 2020, when everything just kind of completely cratered. So you have to be able to allow yourself to feel the pain of these investments going to almost zero. And look, be prudent and really find the good ones, because you don't have to find a lot of good ones. You just have to find 1 or 2 really good ones, and they'll outperform everything else. So for us, Bitcoin outperformed, Ethereum outperformed, and Fantom's currently outperforming. So even though I've had some bad bets before, the key thing is just to stay consistent and don't give up and don't quit, and practice every day. Like, I do this every day. I haven't stopped since I got into Bitcoin or cryptocurrency in 2013. Don't give up, because good things take time. And if you look at even the success of Bitcoin, it didn't happen overnight. It's been 11 years or like 10 years. I've been involved in this space for 8 years now. And a lot of stuff has happened in those 8 years. The world changed a lot. But it's amazing to see that, even transactions from 2013, because the blockchain is immutable, it keeps the history forever. So it's great to see more people adding this to their portfolio. More people are talking about it. Everybody knows what Bitcoin is now, but they still don't own Bitcoin, which is the crazy part. There's only 21 million Bitcoin in the world. So that would be my advice to somebody that's really, really committed. Just stick with it. And look, the next 12 months, the market will go up, the market will go down. But at the end of the day, just understand we are at the beginning of like a 12-month bull market run cycle right now. Next year in this conference, we'll probably have to reassess kind of where things are, but definitely it's an exciting time to be in the space. But invest wisely, and again, invest only what you can afford to lose, and remember that history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes.